Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that intro gets me every time. That's actually a fantastic intro. I definitely hope you guys enjoy that. Definitely been a long time coming for that one. All right. If you guys can hear me, definitely make sure you throw a one up in the chat. Just want to make sure that the mic is working properly. It seems like everything's good on my end. I definitely hope it's all good on you guys' end as well. We definitely have a lot to talk about for sure. You can see this low pressure system coming in. It's actually getting start digging here down into Texas, Oklahoma, heading up through the southeast, and then eventually into the northeast as well. Sounds good, brother. How you doing? It's definitely good to see you. Are you working overnight tonight, or are you at home? Or, but yeah, it's definitely good to see you. Cool. Looks like see everything's working. Just got off work. Oh man, I bet. Are you heading home tonight, or are you going somewhere else tonight? Because I can always stay on stream until you get home if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, the weather's gonna get crazy. Staying over. Okay, yeah, definitely sounds good, brother. Hopefully everything's going all right. Hopefully she's doing well. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be some crazy weather we have going on. But let me actually take a look at Pittsburgh here real quick. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely graphics are definitely improving for sure. That's definitely true. All right, so this evening we have a discontinuous series of showers. The forecast is traversed from west to east, positioned to the north of Pittsburgh in tandem with the eastward progression of a cold front and an associated shortwave trough. The ambient temperature during this period is anticipated to remain anomalously high, with several climatological stations currently reporting temperatures in the lower 60s. Definitely looks like it dropped a little bit down there. It looks like the temperature here, let me verify that by our weather station here. Let me take a look at it real quick. Yeah, it's about 48 degrees here now. It was 60 earlier. It was really nice, actually. Definitely turned out to be a nice day. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to get colder, and we do have a snowstorm coming in for Tuesday. We'll definitely provide some data for that as well. So yeah, in the early hours this morning, we had minimum temperatures were observed in the upper 40s to low 50s, which presented the possibility of establishing new record high minimum temperatures for today. The likelihood of this occurrence is contingent upon the timing of the cold front passage later this evening. So we'll definitely take a look at the data after the video as well, just to see if we hit any record highs. That'll be in the community tab there. So definitely check that out for sure. And let's take a look at some of the forecast period here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my bearings. All right, there we go. Little update to the forecast there, but not too bad. All right, so after midnight tonight, heading into Sunday, we're definitely going to see a noticeable decline in temperatures. It's definitely going to be expected. It's going to be driven by a cooler northwesterly airflow. Regions near Interstate 80 up north are projected to experience temperatures approaching or descending below the freezing mark. Despite this downward trend, the forecasted temperatures will remain approximately 5 to 10 degrees higher than the historical averages for this time of year. This is definitely underscoring the continued deviation from climatological norms. Yeah, 63. Yeah, I was wondering if we were gonna hit a record for earlier today, but yeah, it looks like 2008 definitely was the record there. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Following a transient cessation of precipitation across the region, the likelihood of minor rainfall accumulation is anticipated to increase in the locales south of Morgantown post 6 a.m., so tomorrow morning, as a disturbance originating from the southeast propels moisture northward in a southwesterly airflow. Expected rainfall totals for late Sunday evening are projected to be minimal, ranging from negligible amounts to about a quarter of an inch. So definitely not too bad. The most substantial accumulations are predicted to occur within the ridges, facilitated by light upslope effect. So definitely if you live in the ridges, be on the lookout for some rain tomorrow as well. Looks like about a quarter of an inch or so. But for the rest of the area, it definitely looks like sun. It's definitely be interesting. So by early Monday, a cutoff low pressure system is forecasted to be positioned over the Mississippi Valley. As this disturbance progresses northward, it's expected to reintegrate into the zonal atmospheric flow over the region from Monday night through Tuesday. Initially, the precipitation is likely to manifest as rain late on Monday. However, the forecast becomes less certain as we transition into Tuesday. The dynamics and positioning of the low pressure system will significantly influence the behavior of the surface low, presenting several potential scenarios. So, should the low pressure system move over Pittsburgh, the influx of warm air is expected to extend northward, with the warm front stabilizing near Interstate 80. In this scenario, the deformation zone over the northern counties could facilitate a localized area of elevated snowfall totals, especially if a snow band forms contingent upon the strength of the frontogenesis that will occur. Which frontogenesis is a process by which a weather front strengthens. Just in case if you guys didn't know that. Frontogenesis, definitely a fun term. For areas south of I-80, precipitation may include wet snow, a wintry mix, and rain. Alternatively, if the warm front stalls near Interstate 70 down to the south, allowing colder air to envelop a larger portion of the region, the likelihood of a snow band forming approximately 50 miles south increases. This could lead to travel disruptions during Tuesday morning's commute, particularly within the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. Let me actually pronounce that right. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's definitely crazy. Given the considerable variability between these scenarios, the actual weather event may diverge from the current forecast. Factors such as the low's position, frontogenesis intensity, the QPF, which stands for quantitative precipitation forecast values, and the snow-to-liquid ratio will be crucial in determining snowfall amounts and rates. Currently, there's definitely a high probability, high meaning over 60%, of receiving 1 to 2 inches of snow northeast of Pittsburgh. Nevertheless, the chances of meeting winter storm or winter weather advisory criteria remains at 50% for a significant portion of the region, precluding the issuance of winter weather advisories with this afternoon's forecast. So it's definitely pretty crazy. So by Tuesday afternoon, most of the moisture from the aforementioned low pressure system is expected to continue its eastward progression into New England. Despite this, lake-enhanced snow showers may persist into late Tuesday or even into early Wednesday morning due to the northwesterly flow and lack of ice cover on Lake Erie. And then through Wednesday, all the way through next weekend, a period of ridging from late Wednesday into early Thursday is forecast to briefly stabilize conditions across the region. A minor shortwave could reintroduce snowfall possibilities near Interstate 80 on Wednesday afternoon, although this prediction is currently deemed uncertain due to the developing ridge. Precipitation probabilities are projected to remain elevated towards the end of the week, with an elongated trough stretching from the Dakotas to the northeast and subsequent shortwaves emerging from the Rockies. Given the persistently above average temperatures, the likelihood of accumulating snowfall returning to the region over the following weekend is currently assessed as low. So we're definitely going to have to watch that carefully as we keep progressing forward. So just to reiterate the forecast, Sunday tomorrow, which is about, 27 minutes from now. Looks like we're going to have some clouds in the morning and some PM sun, high of 48 degrees, low of 30 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation in the Pittsburgh area. Some sun in the morning with clouds increasing during the afternoon. High temperature of 48 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So nothing really to write home about in terms of the winds here in Pittsburgh. Moving on to Monday. Looks like mostly cloudy skies for Monday. High of 48 and low of 33. 30% chance of precipitation. So not too bad. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday definitely looks like it's going to be a weather action day here in Pittsburgh. We have rain and snow, high of 40 with a low of 28 degrees. Precipitation amount is at 50% currently. So we'll have mostly cloudy conditions with snow showers during the morning. We have a high of 40 degrees. Winds will be increasing to the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So definitely, if you have anything outside, trash can lids, things like that, definitely make sure they are put into place. Although 10 to 15 miles per hour doesn't seem that high, it can definitely create some havoc out there trying to dodge trash cans and things like that. So Wednesday, we have partly cloudy skies, a little bit colder, 38 degrees with a low of 28. It looks like a 20% chance of precipitation, intervals of cloud and sunshine. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15. So again, we're going to have to watch that. We have to watch those winds. 10 to 15 could definitely be kind of creating a little bit of havoc out there, especially if there are some loose trash can lids from trash day out there. Anything like that could definitely pose a hazard. As we move into Thursday, we're looking at PM showers, a high of 44 degrees, low of 34. 40% chance of precipitation. Clouds early with showers for the afternoon hours. A few flurries or snow showers possible as well. Looks like high of 44 degrees. Winds are going to be from the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. Moving into Friday, partly cloudy skies. Definitely looks like a pretty nice day, except for the low temperature there of 24. High of 40, so not too bad for this time of year. A few snow showers around in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15. Again, we're going to have to watch those winds. And on Saturday, we have a few slight chance of AM snow showers. High of 35 degrees, low of 20. Mostly cloudy skies with snow showers during the morning. High near 35 degrees, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of snow about 38%. So definitely not too bad for the forecast period for sure. It's definitely not too shabby at all. All right, let's take a look at the weather across the United States as well. See what we got going on for sure. It's definitely going to be an interesting week. I can definitely say that for sure. We're definitely going to have some severe thunderstorms coming into the south, so we're going to have to watch that very, very carefully. So let's actually pull that up quickly here. This is from the Pivotal Weather website. It's a great website. It is a paid subscription for some of the features. It's $9.99 a month, so it's actually relatively affordable. It's very good software. I definitely highly recommend it. You can go on Pivotal Weather for free as well. But some of the data you don't have access to, but that's really not a problem because you can get access to it at tropicaltidbits.com, which is actually a free website. I think there's a subscription there, but a lot of the data there is free. But Pivotal Weather is just something I've used for a long time. Justin knows this very well. It's definitely very, very good software. Let's take a look at the severe weather event tomorrow down across the New Orleans area as well. So Dark Waters, if you're listening, definitely be on the lookout for some severe weather tomorrow. A slight risk of severe thunderstorms has been identified for regions including southeast Texas, central and southern Louisiana, select areas of southern and central Mississippi, and parts of western Alabama. A trough exhibiting a positive tilt within the southwest is forecast to progress eastward throughout Sunday. Although some enhancement of the system is anticipated over time, significant intensification is expected to materialize towards Monday morning. At the surface level, a humid air mass will prevail across southeast Texas, extending into portions of the southeast. So we're going to have to watch that carefully. It's definitely going to feel pretty humid down there. Currently, surface dew points within these areas are recorded into the low to mid-60s, a condition that is projected to persist as a modest surface low advances northeastward towards the Arklatex region by Monday morning. In the sectors extending from southeast Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, western Alabama, early convection might be present as well, particularly within eastern Texas, proximate to the upper level trough and associated cold front. Additionally, albeit weaker, convective activity may occur along the gradually ascending warm front within Louisiana and Mississippi. Despite prevalent cloud cover within the warm sector, sporadic areas of solar heating may facilitate mixed layer convective available potential energy, or mixed layer CAPE values, around 1,000 joules per kilogram in certain locales. The limited forcing for ascent suggests that storm initiation is likely to be deferred until the afternoon hours, with the most probable region for storm development being southeast Texas, though there is less certainty extending eastward along the surface boundary. Steep mid-level lapse rates, coupled with effective shear values ranging between 50 to 60 knots, will enable the organization of storms into a combination of supercells and linear segments. The primary hazard are expected to be large hail and damaging winds. Given the subdued surface response to the trough, low-level wind fields are not anticipated to be particularly robust. Nonetheless, an escalation in 850 millibar winds during the evening hours, or the low-level jet, particularly across central and southern Mississippi, may present a narrow window for an elevated tornado risk between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Above the surface boundary, storms will assume an elevated nature, yet elongated hodographs and adequate buoyancy will still support the potential for isolated hail events. The progression eastward, characterized by diminishing mid-level lapse rates and buoyancy, is expected to confine the severe weather threat to a more marginal level in eastern Alabama and the far western regions of Georgia as well. So let's actually take a look at some of the hodographs here, just to show you guys. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this on here really quickly. I'm sure I'll be able to get it on there. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. This should do it. There we go. All right, let me go to. So this is pivotal weather, guys. Just to show you, this is some of the data that I look at, basically on a daily basis. It's definitely very effective in forecasting. It's very good software, or a good website, I should say. I definitely highly recommend it. Let's go into the local regions here. Man, that's nasty. That is a nasty system coming in. Definitely going to be some convective bands coming in through Monroe around 1 p.m. as well. Let's take a look at some of the SKUTs here. Definitely marginal to severe. Looks like a little bit of omega values coming in. Definitely in the lower levels. Definitely going to be some elevated cloud bases there as well. We're going to have to keep a look at that. 115 meters squared per second squared, or the effective inflow relative storm relative helicity. Those values are definitely pretty intense for sure. But the Cape values not very prominent up towards Monroe, at least in the early afternoon hours. Just at 5 joules per kilogram, definitely looks like convective inhibition is definitely going to outweigh that. So in meteorology, CAPE stands for convective available potential energy. It is the measure of the amount of energy available for convection, which is a key process in the formation of thunderstorms, severe weather events, and other atmospheric phenomena. CAPE is expressed in units of energy per unit mass, typically joules per kilogram. CAPE is calculated by considering the vertical profile of temperature and humidity in the atmosphere and assessing the buoyancy of an air parcel if it were to be lifted from near the surface to higher altitudes. The more buoyant an air parcel is compared to its surroundings, the higher its potential to rise and form convective clouds and storms. A higher value of CAPE indicates a greater potential for severe weather, as it suggests that there is more energy available to fuel storm updrafts, leading to more intense and potentially dangerous weather phenomena such as strong thunderstorms, hail, and tornadoes. Conversely, low CAPE values suggest limited potential for convection and thus less severe weather. So it definitely looks like in the early afternoon hours, it definitely looks like it's going to be more of sort of a rain event. Definitely a few rumbles of thunder up towards the Monroe area. We can take a look at the Alexandria area as well. Looks like the CAPE values are a lot stronger down here. We have 1,893 surface CAPE here, so that's definitely really good. Let's take a look at this value as well. 262 meters squared per second squared. That is the effective inflow storm relative helicity. Just to pull up some data there. So the effective inflow SRH, or effective inflow storm relative helicity, is a specialized meteorological parameter used to assess the potential for rotating storms, particularly supercells, which can spawn tornadoes. Storm relative helicity is a measure of the potential for cyclonic updraft rotation in thunderstorms and is expressed in units of meters squared per second squared. It quantifies the degree of rotation, or helical motion, that an air parcel experiences as it moves within a storm influenced by the environmental wind shear. Effective inflow refers to a part of a storm where the inflow of warm, moist air is occurring, which is crucial for the storm's development and maintenance. This region is critical because it's where the storm draws its energy. The effective aspect considers the layer of atmosphere that is actively participating in the storm's updraft, which can vary in depth depending on the storm's atmospheric conditions. That's definitely pretty interesting. So it looks like we have 262 meters squared per second squared. It's definitely pretty high. That definitely suggests a moderate potential for rotating storms. This can definitely lead to severe weather phenomenon, including large hail, damaging winds, and possibly tornadoes. Even that the photograph there is very telling as well. From the photograph here, that's actually very telling. That's over here. You can see the 0 to 1 kilometer. That's definitely a lot of turning in the atmosphere there, a lot of changing with the wind direction and height. That's called wind shear there. It's definitely very, very strong. I'm just curious. The critical angle is about 55, so that's going to ingest more crosswise vorticity than streamwise. The closer that is to 90 degrees, the easier it is to form tornadoes. But yeah, the 0 to 1 kilometer shear on the hodograph is a crucial parameter for understanding low level wind shear in the atmosphere, particularly in the context of severe weather forecasting. A hodograph is a graphical representation that shows the change in wind direction and speed with height. It's plotted in polar coordinate system where each point represents the wind at different altitudes, with the length of the vector from the origin to the point indicating the wind speed and the angle indicating wind direction. In severe weather meteorology, the 0 to 1 kilometer shear is specifically important for assessing the potential for tornado genesis within thunderstorms. This shear is the difference in wind speed and direction between the surface, about 0 kilometers, and 1 kilometer above the surface. It is a measure of the horizontal rotation available in the lower atmosphere that can be ingested by a developing thunderstorm. So it's definitely pretty interesting. Definitely looks like the hodograph is curved very well there. Ventilation rate actually looks pretty good too, where you see the light blue line as well. That's definitely pretty interesting. And that critical angle, as I said, it's basically a concept in severe weather forecasting, particularly the analysis of environments conducive to tornadic supercell thunderstorms. A critical angle is defined by the orientation of the storm motion vector relative to the environmental wind shear profile, specifically looking at the low-level wind shear within the lowest 1 kilometer of the atmosphere. So technically, the critical angle is the angle between the surface-based storm relative helicity vector's orientation and the storm motion vector. It's often calculating using the 0 to 1 kilometer SRH vector and the motion vector of a potential supercell. The angle is considered critical because when it falls within a certain range, typically closer to 90 degrees, it suggests an optical alignment for the enhancement of storm rotation, particularly in the lower levels of the atmosphere where tornado genesis is most likely. Critical angle near 90 degrees indicates that the inflow into the storm is nearly perpendicular to the direction of the wind shear. This setup allows the storm to effectively ingest and utilize the rotational energy provided by the environmental wind shear, enhancing the storm's potential to produce strong rotation near the surface and consequently increasing the tornado threat. So it's definitely interesting. Like I said, streamwise vorticity. This occurs when the axis of rotation of the air parcel is aligned with the storm's inflow, meaning the vorticity is parallel to the direction of the incoming air into the storm. When the critical angle is near 90 degrees, it suggests that the low-level wind shear is oriented in such a way that it maximizes the amount of streamwise vorticity that can be ingested into the storm's updraft. This is optimal for development of rotation within the storm, particularly near the surface, and increases the likelihood of tornado genesis. In this situation, though, we have a 55-degree critical angle. So basically, in contrast, when the axis of rotation of the air parcel is perpendicular to the storm's inflow, it's referred to as crosswise vorticity. A lower critical angle, one that deviates significantly from 90 degrees, suggests that the environmental wind shear is oriented more crosswise relative to the storm's inflow. In this scenario, the vorticity is less efficiently tilted and stretched into the vertical by the storm's updraft, making it less conducive to develop strong low-level rotation and, by extension, less favorable for tornado formation. So not too bad. It's definitely pretty interesting once you get the hang of this. I'm definitely going to make some lecture series about this as well in the future. So that'll definitely be good. We have precipitable water values here too. If you can see this right here, 1.42 inches. So that's definitely an interesting concept as well. So that the PW value is known as the precipitable water. It refers to the total amount of water vapor in a column of the atmosphere if all the water vapor in that column were condensed into liquid water. It's measured from the surface of the Earth to the top of the atmosphere. Precipitable water, or PW, is usually expressed in inches or millimeters, indicating the depth of the water layer that would result if all the vapor were precipitated out. So a value of 1.42 there, shown on the chart, for precipitable water is considered high and indicates a significant amount of moisture in the atmospheric column. High precipitable water values are indicative of a moist atmosphere and can be associated with heavy rainfall and strong storms, especially if other conditions for lifting and condensation, such as temperature gradients or atmospheric disturbances, are present. It's definitely pretty interesting. We also have a value here that I frequently look at. Right here, it's called D-CAPE. This is called downdraft CAPE. So this is 990 joules per kilogram. So that's definitely interesting. So it's D-CAPE stands for downdraft convective available potential energy. It's a measure of the potential energy available to accelerate a downdraft into a convective thunderstorm. Essentially, D-Cape quantifies the amount of cooling that occurs due to evaporation in a downdraft, which can lead to stronger and potentially damaging wind gusts at the surface when the downdraft reaches the ground. It's calculated by assessing the vertical temperature and humidity profile of the atmosphere, similar to how CAPE is determined for updrafts. However, D-Cape focuses on the descending air parcels, evaluating energy it could potentially gain from its initial level down to the surface due to the negative buoyancy associated with evaporative cooling. So it's measured in joules per kilogram as well, similar to CAPE. So we're looking at 990 joules per kilogram suggests a moderate potential for stronger downdrafts and surface wind gusts, which could definitely lead to gusty conditions, but not necessarily widespread wind damage. Anything over 1,000 would be like microburst, downburst, things like that. We're at 990 there. This is for Monroe, northern Louisiana. So yeah, we're going to have to watch that carefully. Definitely looks like it could be a very interesting situation developing there. All right, let's take a step forward here. Let's actually go into the afternoon hours. Let's go into about, we'll go about 6 p.m. Do some nasty storms down here by Alexandria. Yeah, definitely marginal tornado. 92 SRH values. Definitely not too high, but still. So they have a CAPE values of 1,313 joules per kilogram. Definitely a lot of precipitable water in the atmosphere, 1.73. D-Cape is at 290, so not too much in terms of wind. Definitely with the storms, though, there could definitely be a potential for some winds coming in, but it definitely looks like the downdraft CAPE suggests that there's not going to be the potential for microburst, downburst, things like that. So not too bad. Temperature is almost right at the dew point, so we're going to have to watch for those foggy conditions as well. Looks like critical angle at 35, more crosswise vorticity. Marginal tornado threat. This is down near Alexandria at 6 p.m. We also have some storms just off to the west of Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg's looking a bit more favorable for tornadic development for sure, especially that 0 to 1 kilometer shear there. That shear vector 0 to about 35 knots in the lower levels. That's definitely pretty good, specifically for tornadoes. 1,821 joules per kilogram, forecast to go up to 2,488. That's very prominent there. Definitely some large hail coming out of that, so definitely be on the lookout for that in Hattiesburg. D-Cape is at 483, so it definitely looks like the potential for downbursts, microbursts, things like that are a little bit lessened. 1.52 inches of precipitable water. Definitely looks like a big-time rainfall event. We're going to have to watch for the chances of flooding around Hattiesburg as well. And what I'm interested in is this front coming through here after 8 p.m. So let's take a look at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It looks like it's severe potential here. Definitely a very good ventilation rate in the upper atmosphere. You can see the dew point and the dew point line here, the green line and the red line. You can see this big opening up here, definitely ventilating the storm, allowing it to breathe. 1412 joules per kilogram for surface CAPE. Precipitable water at 1.56. D-Cape at 477. So again, we're still looking at basically the chances for moderate severe thunderstorms, or sorry, moderate storms. Definitely could be severe. Doesn't look like in much of the way of tornadoes at this moment, but we'll definitely keep an eye out on that. 10 p.m. is when everything looks like it's starting to head towards New Orleans, so definitely dark waters, be on the lookout for that. Definitely a pretty good tornado potential down here for New Orleans. 0 to 1 kilometer, looks a little bit hairy there. But yeah, critical angle very low at 3 degrees. But that surface CAPE at 1,307 joules per kilogram, that's definitely pretty high. Forecasted to go up to 2,389. Precipitable water value is almost near 2 inches, so definitely be on the lookout for a lot of heavy rain tomorrow. Dark waters, definitely be on the lookout for that. See if we can move forward a little bit. Yeah, it looks like 11 p.m. Very strong omega values coming in the mid to low levels here. Definitely a lot of clouds. Definitely a lot of upward motion there. This is off to the east of New Orleans around 11 p.m. Curious to see. Yeah, we're going to have to watch out for that water spout potential down to the south. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good down there. very interesting. Let's actually move over towards, and here we go. Hang on. Let's go back a little bit. Man, it's going to be a messy setup up towards Rome, Georgia here. Definitely tons of rain coming in. This is around 8 p.m. Lagrange and Peachtree City around 10 p.m. I'm really worried about these cells down to the south of Tuscaloosa, too. They have, like, very, very interesting kidney bean shapes to them. Photographs are not favorable. Definitely marginal severe. A lot of omega values here, negative omega values coming in. Definitely could be a big wind event here. A couple discrete cells down towards Montgomery as well. These ones are going to be very favorable for tornado development. So Montgomery, Alabama, be on the lookout tomorrow. This is around 8 p.m. Montgomery, up through Lagrange as well, and even Columbus. You have to keep an eye out for these storms coming in. These photographs are very, very conducive for tornadic development for sure. 338 SRH value as well. That's very high. Definitely a very high probability for tornadoes. So definitely be getting your emergency kits ready, especially here across central Alabama heading into Georgia here, and even back along the Louisiana-Mississippi border as well. Some of these storms definitely could pack a punch. Definitely not out of the question for sure. Yeah, that's going to be strong. That's definitely going to be very, very strong for sure. We're going to have to keep an eye out on that. Some of these storms up towards central Mississippi, north central Mississippi as well, definitely look like they're going to pack a punch. Definitely looks like going to be a big wind event. Yeah, definitely not good, folks. Take a look at the dew points as well. I'm very curious to see how these dew points, they definitely come up strongly down towards Louisiana. Let's take a look at that. Down towards New Orleans, 71-degree dew point. That's very strong. Definitely good potential for tornadic development. This is actually right around 2 p.m. tomorrow. I don't think there's anything anticipated. Just a few discrete showers up to the north. But yeah, I mean, some of these storms can definitely get their act together. Even up towards Jasper here. We're going to have to watch that carefully. Earlier in the day, around 2 p.m. So this is right along the Texas and Louisiana border here. Definitely not good. This is up near Jasper. Heading up towards Alexandria, down through Lake Charles as well. But it definitely looks like it's going to be a very active day tomorrow. We're going to have to keep an eye on that for sure. Let's actually go up to the north. Curious to see what the winter weather totals are saying here. We're going to have to pick another model. Let's go to the North American model here. Yeah, see, some of these are going to be overestimated a lot. 5.1 inches of snow for the Pittsburgh area. I don't really see that much snow coming down. I see maybe an inch or two. It's probably going to be slushy. It's going to be heavy, wet snow, if anything. I don't really see the potential for that much snow coming down in the Pittsburgh area. Let's check the GFS model. Yeah, there we go. The GFS is pretty much on point there as well. Yeah, about 1.4 inches. I could see that in the Pittsburgh area. But up to the north, I can definitely see some of these coming in, like Grove City. Probably a little bit less. I'd probably subtract maybe 3 or 4 inches from these totals, except, of course, these totals down here, because obviously if you subtract that much, there's not going to be any snow. I would probably add a little bit to Somerset, just given the values here. Definitely looks like it's dry in the mid-levels, though. Dendritic growth zone is from 6,175 feet to 13,022 feet. Very interesting. Anywhere to the northeast of Pittsburgh, definitely expect north and east. So definitely up towards St. Mary's, Grove City, Jamestown, even Altoona getting on the action as well. See what the European model is saying here. 2.3. Yeah, 2.3 is definitely believable. It's definitely believable snowfall accumulation here in the Pittsburgh area. As I said, it's going to be that heavy, wet snow. Definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Nice. Let's actually switch over to that. Thank you, Justin, for pointing that out. Definitely appreciate that. Let me see here. Let's turn the watches and warnings on. Very interesting. And you said Rankin County, Mississippi. Okay. Yeah, it's a very nice QLCS coming in, actually. Quasi-linear convective system. Yeah. Oh, no, that's okay. You're good. Definitely thank you for showing that for sure. It looks like there is a special weather statement on there. So it looks like 10:38. Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Carthage to Brandon, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 50 miles per hour. Gusty winds could definitely knock down tree limbs. I could see that for sure. This includes Jackson, Brandon, Philadelphia, Carthage, Pearl River, Morton, Walnut, Grove. Very bad at pronouncing names. I apologize, guys. Pelahatchie, Hillsboro, Redwater, Standing Pine, Harperville, Lena, Leesburg, Goshen Springs, Ludlow, Renfro, Pulaski, Forkville, and Pisgah. Yeah, it's definitely, that's to the north. Just to the east of Carthage looks very strong. Definitely some bookend vortices in there. That's definitely going to be interesting. Let me see if I can put this over on this screen here. Yeah, right in here. So we're going to have to watch that carefully. Let me pick a different color here so it shows up a little bit better. Yeah, definitely some rotation and definitely in there. And even along this, let's pick a different color. This might be better. Yeah, right in there. Probably right in there as well. And even down here, we're going to see the possibility for bookend vortices for sure. Let's take a look at the velocity measurements here. Yeah, it's a big time wind event for sure. I could definitely see 60 to 70 mile per hour winds coming in. Let me get my settings. I'm sorry. Let me make sure. Let's see here. Let's go back to miles per hour. Yeah, 70, 80 mile per hour winds possible. Wow, that's definitely very strong. Let's see here. See if we can show the volumetric data. Hopefully it'll pull that up. It'd be pretty cool to witness. Man, look at the ripples. Look at the gravity waves taking place there. I wonder if that's... Makes me wonder now. Sorry, guys. Just had to move that over a little bit. Try to make it look good. There we go. Man, look at that. Look at those ripples in there. Check this out right in there. That's fantastic. I wonder if those are actually... I'm not sure if those are actual gravity waves, but that actually looks like beams of the radar. That's actually pretty neat. That's very neat. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some impressive storms out there. Down to the south of Abilene for sure. Down by Tuscola and Lawn. That's a very strong storm. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. This is for southwestern Callahan County in west central Texas and southeastern Taylor County in west central Texas. Severe thunderstorm was located near Bradshaw, moving east at 25 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail. Can definitely see some hail damage to vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Looks like Ovalo is going to be impacted by this storm. Big time severe thunderstorm watch as well. It looks like this storm system will be... let me get that a little bit more. It's moving east to 25, so it's a pretty slow-moving storm. Let's actually see. All right, so if you live in Dudley, you got about 15 minutes before this storm comes in. It's definitely packing a punch. Yeah, I'm surprised the one up to the north, to the west of Breckenridge, isn't warned. It should be. Definitely looks like it's a very intense cell. But yeah, this storm is going to be impacting a population of 93 people. So not too many people in the path of this, but still definitely good to get the word out there. This storm, whoops, let me get that off there. My apologies. This storm up to the north is definitely packing a punch as well. It looks like it's starting to actually turn to the right, too. It's definitely a right-moving supercell. It looks like 40-mile-per-hour winds and pea-size hail at the moment. Looks like the mesocyclone was right in here. Looks like it's going to try to form a new meso off to the east. I have to watch that. Let's get some volumetric data on this bad boy. Yeah, man, look at that. It's almost a surface-based storm as well. Man, you can see... You can just see that. Wow. You can see right through the storm there. Let's check that out. You can basically draw like an arrow straight through there. Definitely some turbulence definitely occurring in there. Definitely some horizontal vorticity taking place. Wouldn't be surprised if a storm definitely gets its act together. It looks like it is moving off to the right here. Storm motion is about 40 miles per hour, so let's get a little bit better measurement on that. So let's take it off to the right, 40 miles per hour. Oops, hang on. Do that one more time. There we go. Breckenridge in about 33 minutes. Definitely get to your safe place. And South Hanlon as well. Ivan, 49 minutes. Caddo in 54 minutes. Total population, 5,478 people in the path of this storm. But yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to pack a punch for sure. Looks like right to the north of you, DDoS, definitely looks like there's some winter weather advisories as well. Accumulation up to 3 inches and wind gusts of 35 miles per hour. That's definitely going to be coming through pretty soon. Let me switch back to the radar data real quick. Once it loads, get this to load up. There we go. Yeah, look, at some of these storms are definitely going to develop around 3 a.m. as well. It looks like they're going to blow up towards the San Angelo, Brownwood area. Just off to the... Looks like these storms are definitely going to continue going here. Abilene, Clyde, Breckenridge, around 4 a.m. Oh, there could be a possible tornado here down near Hamilton, Cranfields Gap, and Hico as well. This is right along 281 and 22 here. This is down near Ferry, Lanham, Whiteway, all the way up through Hico here. Definitely looks like 3 cells that could potentially produce tornadoes. You got one here, one there, and let me click off here real quick. My apologies. There we go. So definitely here, and here. This one and this one definitely look like they could be the main producers of tornadoes later on tonight into tomorrow morning. We're going to have to watch that carefully. Big time snow coming in up to the north as well. Looks like a mostly rain event for you, DDoS. Looks like between now and 2 p.m. tomorrow. It looks like the snow is trying to sneak in on the western side there. So definitely be careful. Looks like Norman's definitely going to get on the action. Oklahoma City as well. Could be a few rumbles of thunder around 8 a.m. Also, you're going to have to watch that. It could be waking you up in the morning. down through New Orleans as well. Prefrontal confluence bands in the afternoon. The main front down here through Natchitoches here, down through Alexandria. Let's go to North American model here. Yeah, these storms are going to get nasty. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a pretty nasty setup tomorrow. Even into Monday as well. Wow. Yeah, it's a big time setup for sure. Let me go back to check it out. Winter storm warnings in Texas as well. It looks like heavy snow expected. Total accumulations in Texas between 2 and 8 inches with isolated amounts near 10 inches possible. North winds will gust as high as 35 and could result in restrictions to visibility due to blowing snow. This is the far southern Texas Panhandle and northern and central portions of the Rolling Plains and South Plains. This is from midnight tonight to midnight Central Standard Time Sunday night. Travel could become very difficult. Consider delaying travel until the storm has passed. So 2 to 8 inches, possibly even up to 10 inches here in. That's not good. Definitely 10 inches of snow in Texas. They're definitely not prepared for that. Even in Oklahoma City as well, up to 3 inches of snow, 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Definitely not good. Tons of snow on the backside of this as well. Up into Colorado Springs, 2 to 6 inches. Looks like Denver, Colorado. Snow accumulations up to 1 inch. Looks like there's giant severe thunderstorm watch as well. Watch number 15, effective this Saturday night and Sunday morning through 9:55 p.m. until 4 a.m. So definitely a pretty prolonged event. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Let me go back to the radar and see what we got going on. Man, very strong. Here we go. Definitely big time tornado potential down by Rogers here. Definitely looks like it's getting its act together. Let's see, yeah, there's definitely rotation in there. We're gonna have to watch that carefully. Right in here, it looks like this is starting to die off, and a new meso is going to start forming off to the east as well. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get some volumetric data on it. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Rain shaft there, perfectly visible. Nice weak echo region as well on the backside of this storm. Try to get in here a little bit, see what we can see. Any features. Very strong. Definitely a nice hail core going up. I think we're right in there. You can see the hail core. And it's circulating around the backside as well. Not good. Yeah, we can see the potential for a tornado here. It's definitely not out of the question. See base velocities here. Yeah, not too bad. Definitely big time hail. Definitely quarter size hail. Possibly even bigger than that coming down. Echo tops of about 34,000 feet. Would like to see about 40,000, but still, nevertheless, it's definitely a very strong storm. Nice sort of hook echo on radar. Right in there. You can almost see the flying eagle configuration coming together. It's pretty messy, but yeah, lightning definitely starting to form on, definitely showing up there as well. It looks like 0 people are in the path of that. I doubt that. There's going to be some population out here towards Rodin and Admiral here. It's definitely good if that's the case. It's heading over mostly rural terrain, so that's good news. Storm up to the north definitely looks like it's starting to get on the southern side of that. Definitely getting a sort of a hook echo shape as well right in here. A little bit less pronounced. It's definitely certainly possible. This is still a right moving cell. Looks like it. This one here, it's definitely tightening up. You can see that definitely tightening up there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a tornado warning wasn't issued on this storm here in next couple minutes, or at least if the severe thunderstorm warning was extended. So definitely be on the lookout. We have some storms coming in towards San Angelo as well. This is definitely a messy setup. Multicellular clusters. Definitely some flash flooding is possible with these cells. This one is going to be one to watch. Big time right moving cell. You can see that right there. Perfect right mover there. Definitely see it's ingesting some of the warmer, moist air out ahead of it. Yeah, this storm's going to be a dangerous one. See if it's moving at like 35. So if you live in Mertzen, Sherwood, and Tankersley, and Knickerbocker, Knickerbocker, that's right, yep. That's like the company out here, actually, up on Campbell's Run Road. So 29 minutes, definitely plenty of time to get into your safe shelter. Definitely, if you're out ahead of this storm down here near Mertzen, definitely get in your safe shelter immediately and definitely stay there. That storm could definitely go tornadic very, very easily. Even down to the south here. This storm up to the north of San Angelo definitely looks like a strong cell. Looks like that one's more of a left mover. That one's going to be a big-time hail producer. This is heading up towards Ballinger, just off to the west of Miles there. This one's looking very interesting. Definitely a big feeder band coming into Bronte. That's definitely a big-time left mover, big-time hail core. This one's looking very interesting. This one's basically heading with a mean wind. It's not really a left mover or a right mover at this time. This one, though, this one's definitely a right mover. So Breckenridge, get ready. It's definitely knocking on your doorstep here. Definitely pretty crazy. All right, let's take a look at some of these as well. Winter storm watches in Pennsylvania. So 4 to 6 inches of snow possible. Wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. Portions of central Pennsylvania. This is from Monday evening through Tuesday afternoon. Precipitation will start as light rain before transitioning into snow, becoming steadier and heavier Monday night. Snowfall rates greater than 1 inch per hour will be possible overnight into the early morning Tuesday. If the system moves further north, milder air streaming in could allow for rain to mix in and lower snow accumulations. Definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely a lot of coastal flood advisories as well along New Jersey, Philadelphia included in that, New York as well. Be on the lookout for that. Still got that QLCS coming in. Philadelphia, Mississippi getting ready to get impacted by this. This is right off to your west. Man, that's a big time right moving cell right there. This one right here. It's going to be one to watch later on tonight. This one's definitely developing into more of a hook echo shape. Or sorry, not hook echo. Bow echo shape. You can definitely see that structure right there. Perfect bow echo. This one's basically the same thing. Definitely a right mover. Starting to go with the mean wind now, though. So we're going to have to watch that. All right, folks. I think I'm going to jump off of here for tonight. Definitely appreciate you guys joining me. It's definitely been fun. I definitely always enjoy these briefings for sure. It's nice to get back on into the lives, show you guys some more graphics and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. At least I think it is. Let's see here. All right, folks, I'm going to end the stream with another video. So definitely appreciate you guys joining me. Always remember, dominate the storm.
Step into the world of weather with World Weather Authority, your number one source for all things meteorological. Covering every corner of the globe, we're dedicated to delivering you the most accurate, timely, and comprehensive forecasts, ensuring you're always prepared, whatever the weather. Our experienced team of meteorologists are at the forefront of weather technology, tracking patterns from the serene to the extreme. Here at World Weather Authority, we go beyond the forecast, delving into the science behind the weather and its impact on our environment, our lives, and our future. Our commitment to accuracy and insight has built a community of viewers who trust us for their weather news, fascinating facts, and crucial updates. So why not join us? Don't miss a forecast. Subscribe, hit that bell icon for notifications, and follow us on social media. Stay ahead of the weather, no matter where you are, no matter the season. This is World Weather Authority, where the weather is always the news.